I think it's really interesting to me for even people that have just done this for a few months through 18 years of direct support work, when people hear what you do and they don't really understand what you do, whether it's a family of one of the people that you support, a community member that you interact with, an employer, what do you wish they knew?
So I wish that people knew that really finding jobs and finding the right fit is very difficult. We don't, I always say we don't have a magic pot of jobs, waiting for individuals when they come through the program. And, you know, we're a lot of times, we're trying to make sure that they're ready so that they can keep the job. And I think that people have sometimes don't understand that, there are expectations to the job, and that the job coach isn't there forever. So they have to be able to navigate their workplace, have natural supports, but they have to be able to do the essential functions of the job. And especially when we make a recommendation that somebody's not ready for competitive employment, we know that's a tough blow. It's not what any parent wants to hear. It's not what an individual we support wants to hear. But more than anything, and I can speak to it because when I was in high school, I got fired from my first lifeguarding job, and it was traumatic. It is not a fun thing to go through. It's upsetting. And so we're trying to make sure that we get the tools and the skills in place so that they can be successful.
Kind of going off what Michelle was saying, just to be successful, what I think I would want people to know is that, especially in residential, like we're here just to make sure, like just to support and make sure people are can get the help that they need. Whereas it's not necessarily, I think some people imagine DSP work as like, oh, like just passing medications, like helping people walk, like doing like all these things, kind of like a nursing home esque, I think is what some people might think. However, it's very different. It's different for every single person, and we are there to just to support as best as we can, whether that be with a shower or even as like helping cook. Like they might be cooking, but we might just be there to guide them to be like. And I think it's different for everybody, but it's not as scary as it seems or as people as picture it.
I would say I would want them to know that even though it may seem like it could be a little easy sometimes, it could be pretty difficult sometimes supporting people when they don't always want to be supported. I would say that could be something that I would want people to know if they're coming into this role and they think they might want to be a DSP. You think it might be easy to just tell them what to do and to just say, hey, do this. This is what you're supposed to take your medicine. But they're individuals. We're supposed to be, a microphone for their voice. It's not just me telling you, hey, this is what I want for them. They're telling me that this is what they want for them. And I think sometimes when I'm relaying the message to other people, they're saying, are you sure that's what they want to do? They've never wanted that before. They change, they develop, they're humans, and I'm speaking on their behalf because this is what they've said that they were interested in. So I definitely would say, look at me as, more of someone that's advocating for them and not someone that's telling them what's supposed to be done and when it's supposed to be done.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that it's such a nice balance because while the work can be really fun, it's also can be really hard, physically hard if you're having to help with those things like personal care, and emotionally hard. I know that some of you are working in locations where people are getting older and people pass away and all kinds of things happen, and it can be emotionally challenging because we've said we want you to build relationships with people. So that's a really interesting take, Ashley. Claire, do you want to jump in? You're the
Yeah,
newest team member.
yeah. So I would say something that I've definitely observed a lot, um, since being at the ARC and the community engagement program, since we are out in the community for about 4 hours a day. Um, and the goal of the community engagement program is to kind of break those barriers between our individuals here at the program and the general community and kind of breaking down some of those stereotypes that they might have. So I think something that I witness and it continues to bother me, and I try to redirect it and correct it whenever I see it. But when we're out in the community and maybe one of my individuals is paying for their meal that they've just ordered, well, the cashier might hand the money back over to me rather than the individual whose money it actually belongs to. So it's a lot of like redirecting those interactions so it actually is engaging with the participant who is there and getting out into the community, because they are people just like us. They want to have experiences just like us. And so going out into the community and doing their grocery shopping for their cooking class, you know, they are taking the lead. They are being able to make those decisions. And kind of like what Ashley was saying, like they're allowed to say no. They have the autonomy to say no. And so I think that's definitely a misconception, is like with our role is we kind of dictate a lot of what their days look like. When in reality, they have the ability to make those decisions for them. And I might be an aid to help them get to the choices that they want to make and give them maybe the communication tools that they're seeking so that they can advocate for themselves. But it's definitely frustrating. And it's definitely something I've noticed a lot with my private care, because I even did a little bit of job searching with someone I was working with privately. And whenever we were in the interview, like the interviewer was dictating all the questions towards me. I was like, well, you're actually here interviewing Sam. And Sam has all the answers that you're looking for if you ask and direct those questions towards him. So that's definitely something I continue to find frustrating. And whenever I do witness it and experience it out in the community, I try to correct it and redirect it. But even if someone doesn't use words to communicate towards them, I definitely encourage people to direct their questions, direct their voices towards those individuals. And that's definitely something that I'm continuing to work on and experiencing.
So something else I was thinking about while you were talking, Claire, was that when you work as a DSP, I think people need to know that like you are greatly impacting these people's lives, because you're entering your life. It's not like a normal job, or like if I got a job like in an office, people could leave, but like when you leave a job as a DSP, you do like affect the people because you're with them every day. And I know that's kind of something that I don't think people really think about, because
Mhm.
you're impacting a ton of people, not just the individuals, but also their families themselves. Because especially working in residential, I get to have a close relationship with the families, which I absolutely adore. Whether they come and pick them up and they'll go home for the weekend, or even talking to them on the phone, you're greatly impacting people's lives more than an average job, I would say. Well, it depends on the job, of course, but that's something I think I would want people to know as well.